Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode number 95 of Preston Jensen's podcast. If you're new here, I'm your host, Preston. Tonight, we've got a very special guest. I've been teasing this one for a while. My brother James is back, and we want to have some updates on this medal you were thinking about making.
Well, I haven't received it yet. I've been waiting.
You've got to design it first.
Well, it's your show. So I thought for sure that you would have something planned and present to me tonight.
Nope, nothing's planned. I think after the first gift of the having you on the show, I think that's probably it. But
oh man,
I've been
see
teasing.
any reason to be on again then.
Exactly. If there's no medals, well, we'll have to see. One time I created a trophy for our fantasy. I don't even know if it was fantasy football. It could have been fantasy baseball or fantasy basketball. But I painted one of those hairdresser heads gold. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but nobody wanted it, so it's still sitting down in my basement somewhere.
I take that.
Yeah, it's usually
that's pretty close.
Sometimes it's in the background of my set here, but I had to move it because.
Are you able to share a screen? If I send you a picture, I did get a medal this week.
Oh, okay. Yes, go ahead. Send me a picture.
So it wasn't for your show, but this was equally awesome, I think.
We'll see if by the end of the show, if I can figure out how to get it on the screen.
Okay, just send
it. But yeah, I've been teasing having you on the show again for quite a while, just because I knew you were going to that Remax R4 event.
Oh, sure.
That's why I thought, hey, you should come on the show and talk a little bit about that, because I remember one year, I know a lot of people in the YouTube world, everyone knows Gary V. And I know one year he came to the show to talk to you guys.
He was there a couple years ago, and he was impressive. You know, this year we had Brian Buffini. He's awesome. Like, he always has some great points of view, and he always brings you back to earth and what's actually important. So he's Irish.
What's his expertise?
Sometimes. What's that?
I say, what's his expertise?
His expertise is just getting things done and staying focused and consistent.
Okay.
Like, it's, so many times we get caught up. Say you call me, you want to handle something, or I want to get a hold of you, and I just send you a text. And now you never call me back, or you never text me back because it's easy to avoid. Get on the phone. Go knock on their door. It's way tougher to tell somebody no to their face or by voice than a text or an email. Like, so the excuse, well, I sent an email and I just didn't hear back. Well, that.
I think everyone probably deals with that nowadays. I know I deal with that in my line of work, and it seems like email is a good way for people to hide.
Yes. You can always put off an email.
So other than that, is he in the real estate world himself, this guy?
No.
Okay.
He's just a big coach.
Okay.
So Brian Buffini, and then there was also Jared James was there too. And he's a class act too. I mean, he's high caliber, thinks outside the box. We also had, I gotta remember his name, the $1 Million List, Josh Altman from $1 Million Listing. He was one of the speakers too.
See, that's one I'd like to look up, because I love watching those shows, and I don't know if I've specifically seen that one. I'm sure if I saw the guy, I'd be like, oh, okay, yep, I've definitely seen him. But
yeah, if you saw Josh Altman, and he was just a good. He had a great story of living on couches and then buying a castle and then losing that castle because he just didn't do it right, and then starting all over again in real estate. And
is he back in the castle?
He better be, because I think he said he closed on in the last 12 months 1.4 billion in home sales.
Wow.
Yeah, that's impressive.
The last month?
No, last 12 months.
Oh,
So
okay. I
over
was
the
gonna say,
last
well, I
year.
was gonna say that's pretty good. Any other people? Like you said, that one guy thought outside the box. What were some of his thoughts that were so crazy?
Well, a lot of it pertains to real estate world and different ways of marketing to clients coming from a different perspective.
Well, it sounds like that one guy that would kind of touch base on everyone's career or anything they're pursuing on
Yeah,
just getting
right.
stuff
Yeah,
done.
Brian, and same with Jared James. It's just there's so much noise in the industry, especially real estate industry. There's always new tech. There's always new ways of doing it. Like, this is pretty cool. I just downloaded my cute. Look how I am with tech. If you're watching on the screen, that's not working so good. Okay, just line it up to the camera. Where's the camera? There it is.
Well, for those of you
Okay.
listening, James is trying to show his QR code on his Apple Watch, and he's not having much luck. But
There.
yes, if you
Oh
just
man.
if you just
There.
line it
Right.
up with the
Up.
camera, it'll
There it
work.
is.
Yep.
Okay, there it is. So anyway, if you scan that, that goes straight to my digital um, e-card, and it's
I should have had
everything. It's
I should have had that e-card on the screen, so we could have shared your personal
here.
cell phone with everybody.
Oh yeah, it's on there. Let them all call me on my cell phone anytime.
You can give them some advice.
Yep,
Well,
high tech.
was
But
there
anyway, so the
anybody?
point is that there's always noise in the industry, but the bottom line is maintaining your relationships and getting face to face with people, letting them know what you do. So there's a
So
lot of
it
things out there that could make you freak out, but don't freak out. Just stick to your systems, stay consistent, do
so
things
was it a
regularly.
were most people shifting away from technology? Are they
No,
saying okay?
no,
That's what I
no,
figured.
you got to lean into it. It's like there's so many things out there, and I know they make like so many realtors they despise Zillow, and I can't say that I love them either. But hey, it's there. People are using it. You may as well utilize it.
That's true. I mean, I personally like going on Zillow and looking for things. However, I have noticed that, and I don't know what it is, at least in the location I'm looking to purchase, it seems like the listings just aren't there anymore like they used to be. I don't know if that's a trend or what's going on there.
I think they had to tweak the way they showed MLS listings versus private listings.
Okay.
So if you look at if you go on their website, there's like a tab of listings, and then on the side it's like other listings. And if you click on other listings, then you'll see some of those for sale by owner
Okay.
properties.
See, but just for the random person looking through the site, it doesn't seem like a thing you'd want to dig into, you know? You wouldn't want to toggle in the other listings. So I feel like sites like the Remax app will probably get more
I've
traffic
noticed
just
that,
because there's more listings on there.
right. I've noticed that the Remax app is one of the fastest to show the latest listings. And in today's environment, if you're a buyer, at one time it was probably easy to go out and find for sale by owner homes or, trying to do these things on your own. But now you're getting multiple offers. Having a guide like a real estate agent who knows what they're doing, like does this full time, um, is crucial if you're a buyer wanting to find a house.
And that's true because a lot of times if we've found a place that looks interesting and we call on it, sorry, it's already pending. You know, it seems like it's
Yeah.
already long overdue. So yeah, is
Unless
that
you're rolling with cash, you may need to get creative with how you
well,
position it in a manner where it's favorable to the seller.
yep. Well, if you can ever find me a cabin on a crystal clear lake, before it goes on to Zillow or any of the apps, let me know.
We could probably get you a little camper, park it out at the ranch. And, that was pretty crystal clear this summer.
And about 2 feet deep, so it'd be perfect for scuba diving.
Yep.
I could get my face right down in the mud.
Yeah,
But perfect for kayaking.
it is. And
And I
looking
think
at carp.
yes, and I think that's going to be a big thing around our area is the kayaking. I know. I just saw that new travel and tourism magazine that came out. It seems like they're really pushing the kayaking down the Cheyenne River, and I think that's a good thing because it is gorgeous and not too many people utilize it.
No, it's a
I
totally
go up on my boat.
underutilized river.
Yep, I go up on my boat several times during the summer, and it is very odd if I run into anybody on the river, which is weird because it's gorgeous and good fishing and all of the above.
Well, you had Indy Yak Angler on here
Yes,
recently,
yes, I
and
did.
he loves fishing the Cheyenne
He
River,
loves
doesn't he?
fishing the Cheyenne River. Yep, I've seen several
Okay.
videos he's had on the Cheyenne River and actually on Ashtabula as well. And so yes, the fishing's great, the scenery's great. It checks all the boxes, but it's just underutilized for whatever reason.
And I think getting more ports into the river will help
Yes,
a
that's going to
lot.
be
It
it's going
sounds
to
like
be
that's something they're working on getting is more port access points.
that's going to be a big step in the right direction because as we know, since we went last year, uh, we found a spot to get in, but then we had to wait several miles, and it took us. I don't know. We were expecting. I'd say that first trip, we were probably expecting to be out there an hour, and it turned into what was it, 4 or 5?
No, it was like a little over three. It was like three and a
Three,
half.
3.5. It felt
What
like a
was
little
that
bit
our
longer.
first journey, or was that like the second? Because didn't we go in somewhere else and you laughed at me while I almost
Oh, that's
drowned in
true.
beer
Yeah,
can?
we went north against the stream, and then yeah, like you were saying, there wasn't a way to get out, so we had to get into the mud, and the mud was nasty. And I
Knee
think you
deep.
lost a shoe in that ordeal, but
Yeah,
you got
I
it
got it back.
back. I mean, but yeah, it's just a fun place to explore. So yeah, I hope they can put in new places to launch your boats because I think people would have a lot of fun with that. And
Oh
I
yeah.
know, like down the river in Catherine, they took out their dam, and I think that's a good thing too because it seems like that'll be safer now in that spot. But I just drove down there just to check it out, and it looks like the river was actually open in that
Hmm.
stretch. But yeah, I'm getting the itch to go out kayaking again and
Yeah, I'm ready.
go exploring. Well, I still haven't got any text from you or anything
I
regarding
didn't
that
text
picture
it. I
you want to
sent it
show.
via email.
Emailed it. Okay. Well,
Yep.
I
So
don't
then
know
you
if
can
I'll
do
be
a
able.
screen share so it's clear because this is something someone's going to want to see
All
for
right.
sure.
Let's see.
This is impressive. Like this is a feat.
All right. Let's see here if I can pull it up. If you're listening, this is just reason enough
To subscribe to the YouTube
to
channel.
subscribe to the YouTube channel and check it out. If I sound, let's see if I can pull this up here.
And while he's trying to do that, I may as well give a plug. Oh, there it is. Oh my. Look at
There you
that.
go. For those of you listening, it says 2022 doubles combo level 7 second place. You're going to have to explain to us what that is.
Doubles in darts. Our brother-in-law and I shot in a dart tournament and we got second place. It's a pretty big deal.
Nothing wrong with
Level
that.
7. Yep. The 2022. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Well, so who do you have to beat next year to be number 1?
I didn't know their name. It was a couple from Wapaton, I think. Jimmy knew the one person, but I didn't know him.
Okay.
But they were pretty lights out. But it came down to the final match. We were in the championship. It was double elimination. We had to beat them twice. Jimmy, if you know 301, the game 301, you have to score 300. The first one to get, everyone starts with 301 points. And you throw darts, and so if you hit a 20, you're at 281. If you hit another 20, you're down to 261. So you have 3 darts per turn, and the first person to get to zero, exactly zero, wins. So I'm at about 140. Jimmy's at 120. The other team is around 100. It's Jimmy's turn. His first 2 darts, triple 20, triple
Oh,
20 for the win. It was awesome.
that sounds
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
But then you
If
lost
you don't play darts and the triple 20 is like the highest score you can get. It's a very slim spot to hit, and Jimmy hit 2 of them. It was awesome.
so you won the first one, went into a final game and lost, huh?
Yeah, it's a set of 3 games, but yeah, it's a
Oh,
race to
okay. I
3,
see.
but yeah. And we won the first one, and then, yeah,
Just
they
fell short.
just turned it on. Yep.
Well, so it was a big
Next year.
weekend.
Yep.
And so what kind of practice goes into something like that?
I do a lot of stretching and yoga. Mhm.
Any
I eat I load up on carbs the night before
yep,
to really get my energy level up, and, I drank a lot of Diet Pepsis. Whew,
there you go.
few too
Uh,
many.
yep, and
It was, just amped up. I got a little
game
too amped up.
game day, what's your go-to track that gets you pumped up for the dart event?
Radiohead,
Okay.
anything, just listen to it straight through all the way to Fargo, and then
Yep.
if that, runs out, then I put in some National.
All right.
The National.
And then you're ready to go.
Yep, just in the zone, dialed in.
How are you going to change it up next year to get number 1? Is it part of the diet plan or is it the stretching
No,
routine? What are you going to switch up?
no, it's brain.
Right? Okay.
I just
Yep.
gotta get a little more dialed in,
That's
just stay
interesting.
focused. It's not the physical, because I mean, that's just dialed in, but just getting my head straight.
You know what?
I
It's
got
funny
too excited with that triple 20 to finish the first set, and I got overconfident.
well, you know what? It sounds funny because no matter what sport you play, if you're golfing, if it's darts, if it's baseball, it is 99% mental, I'm convinced. Uh, if you have a
Mhm.
bad shot, if you have a bad throw, if you have a bad at bat, if you're able to flush that and move on to the next scenario, uh, I think that's 99% of the game.
Yeah, it's all in your brain.
It's all in your brain. Yep. So, darts can probably teach you a lot about life, I suppose. You
Everything.
you probably learn just as much at your dart tournament as you did in the whole weekend at R4, huh?
Uh,
Not even
no,
close, huh?
not quite, no.
Not quite, but there was some good
It
life
was
lessons
it
in there,
was
I'm
an
sure.
interesting, it was interesting, I'll tell you that. It was
I
my first dart tournament, though, so getting second, it's pretty good,
Not bad, not bragging or
especially
anything, but
especially level 7. Not
that,
everybody can get second at level 7.
that's right, and it sounds like you're staying humble, so that's the main thing.
Yep, that's right.
Getting back to R4, you said there was some people who talked about technology. Is there anything new? I love learning about new technology. Is there something you haven't heard about yet that's on the brink of becoming a big thing in the real estate world or just technology in general or what?
Mhm. AI is getting bigger and bigger in real estate world. Uh, triggered learning patterns of, you know, just using public data to indicate to realtors, who's most likely to be selling a house. So that's that's I think what you're going to be seeing in the next few years here, especially on the agent side.
Okay, and AI, is that for virtual staging, or what are they using that for?
No, AI in learning patterns of
Oh,
people's
okay.
shopping
Oh, I
patterns to
see.
saying, "Hey, you should give Preston a call because the things
He's
he's doing is indicating that he's probably going to be selling his house in the next 6 months. You might want to start talking to him."
Yep, pretty interesting. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
sure
it's
that's
something. I don't know. It's like one of those things that's like,
is it cool or is it
okay,
creepy? I don't know.
right. It's that's just it. It's like I don't even know what to think about that, but it is what it is. That's the world we live in, and it's like so many people. This was actually 2 3 years ago now. There was a CEO I was listening to, and he said, "For the people who think they're keeping their information private, I'm sure we could just go buy it."
Yep,
It's
exactly.
like it's all out there already, and I don't right or wrong, it's just that's unfortunately where it is.
That is unfortunate. I mean, that's disappointing, but yeah, I'm sure Google, I'm sure all the big companies, they know
That's what they're doing.
everything.
They're
It's
they're
yep,
learning your patterns every time you're on. I gotta just be careful what I even say as far as social media stations, so you don't get canceled
yep, exactly. We
because
don't
they
want
didn't like
that.
what you said on this podcast, the
Yep.
Preston Jensen podcast.
Mhm. Yeah, if anyone with any of these big tech companies is listening, that'd be a miracle. So
They all are.
but you never know, and that's just well, you see it on Facebook, you see it on Amazon when you're looking for something in the suggested tabs and stuff. It's just amazing how much information they have on you, and even if you're going through and turning off like, no, I don't want to share my information here, they still get it some way, like you're saying. So, what was there
Okay, well, now you're
anybody?
creeping everybody out. Let's go on to
Yep,
something more
yeah, that's what I was going to
exciting,
ask.
more fun.
Um, I was going to ask about YouTube Shorts. Did anyone talk about YouTube Shorts at the convention? And because I think that could be a huge thing for the real estate
Yes,
world.
actually, they talked about YouTube Shorts and utilizing Google more. Those are kind of the two up and coming platforms
Okay, what do you mean
in
Google?
real
I
estate,
mean,
like using your Google business page
oh, okay,
more.
just
Because I mean,
okay,
YouTube is owned by Google,
right.
so
Yep,
they kind of go hand in hand. And if you think about it, it's like when you do a search for a place, you're doing it through Google. So if you're seen on Google, you know, that's a good place
right.
to be seen.
And if you have good ratings on Google, I'm sure that's a huge thing as well. Because I know when I'm looking for companies, the first thing I do, I go to Google, I check out their rating, and then it's like, oh, if they've got a good rating, then it's like, okay, they're reputable. I can move on. But that's tough too because there's bots out there. There's things that are giving bad reviews, even though they've never worked with you. So that can be frustrating as well. But I'm,
Haters,
yep, yeah, just
just
yeah,
basement peep trolls, just
yep,
man, being one.
exactly,
What?
yep,
Like I never worked with you. Why would
yep,
you do that? Why do you hate
exactly.
me?
Yeah, so that's unfortunate when something like that happens. I feel like Google should do a little bit more research when someone gives a bad review, as far as, hey, have you actually worked with this company? What's the background there, or what's going
They
on? But
could do like if someone wants to put in a review, there should be like a 5-day window where their people can go scrub it to make sure it's a legit. I mean, because honestly, if you got 1 star and you deserved it, you should have it.
yep,
But
right,
there's
I
lots of
agree.
stuff that you didn't deserve it.
Yep.
Not that I've had a 1 star, but I can just about imagine.
See, I think YouTube Shorts would be something that would be appealing to real estate people because they're 60 seconds long. If you're doing it on your phone, only 15 seconds. So you could show a real short clip of something, maybe a highlight of a house. The thing I like about it is you can add mainstream, not media, audio to it without getting copyright strikes. And they get a lot of views. Like a typical YouTube video, if you're not a giant creator, you can post it and you can have 15 views in 20 days or something. But for YouTube Shorts, I've noticed it's really weird. It really depends on the title you pick. So even if you're using a popular song, you can get 1,200 views in just a short amount of time. And I feel like just getting your brand out in front of these people could be worthwhile.
So is it a targeted group of people? Is it your subscribers, or who's seeing these?
Subscribers and I mean anybody watching shorts. So you could share them anywhere really, but that's where I feel like if you create one piece of
But can you
content,
get, I was just going to say, can you get targeted with it? Like,
oh yeah,
because
yep,
like for me, if I'm doing an ad for something, obviously I want like maybe a 60-mile radius of Valley City, North Dakota, but it can rack up views, but those could be in Texas or
yep,
California, and it doesn't necessarily mean anything.
exactly. If you get the right people on the job, they can get as targeted as you want, I could imagine. But the other thing I would like about, or as a realtor, I'd like about it is you could make a long form video, and then from that long form video, you can make a clip out of that long form video into a short, and you could share it on YouTube. You could share it on Instagram Reels. You could share it on Facebook. You could share it. So you could just one piece of content, you get 20 different media outlets for that, So it seems like it would save a lot of time because that's another thing. Realtors don't always have the time to be doing all the social media stuff. So this way, they hit on a lot of content by utilizing a lot less time. So maybe something to think about. It would be fun. We've been doing a lot of testing with YouTube Shorts, and it's kind of baffling to me because you could put in a lot of time in making one and 0 views, and then you could have a clip from your cell phone from like 10 years ago, and boom, thousands of views overnight. It's crazy. So it'd be nice to be able to dial that in to know exactly why people are watching those, because I do feel like you're saying that if you have a regular video and it's getting a lot of views, those are worth a whole lot more than views from a YouTube short. But I mean, so I guess it's tough. It's definitely worth looking into, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no,
Or
that's interesting.
or even like something like TikTok, because that's basically a YouTube short. I
There
mean,
are a lot of people utilizing TikTok. That's one
yep,
I've never done it.
yep.
Doesn't mean not a good idea, but it's just I haven't done it.
I haven't either. And as someone who creates content, it's probably a good idea to get on that just to get out in front of more people, get a little bit more following from loyal subscribers. But well,
But then you got to learn how to dance.
yeah, then I got to learn how to dance. Yeah, that's the next thing I need to come out with is some dance videos on this podcast.
You probably should.
That's
Step it up a little bit.
yeah, and dance videos for a podcast, so it would just be a bunch of like heavy breathing. People would listen to the podcast like, "What? He's dancing again?" The poor people on listening on Anchor, all you hear is heavy breathing. I don't know if that'd be good for a podcast.
Try it. Is there anybody
You
else
never
doing
know.
it? You don't know. That's like those
Could be.
ASMR videos that you like so much.
Yep. I
Like
think those are awesome.
ick.
I think they're awesome. They get millions of views on YouTube. I think the people who create them are very creative. And it's interesting. I mean, obviously, other people like them too because
No, I know
they get a lot
they
of
do.
views on YouTube. But yeah, there are some that are just way too strange. I just don't get it at all. But then there's some that are like, hey, that's kind of creative, you know? But
See, now if you got into making songs out of like banging on fruit and things like that, those are impressive.
there actually is a guy who does that.
I
And
know,
I've sent you a few of
and
his
you should
videos.
learn how to do that.
It's amazing. And how much time do you think goes into one of those videos? I mean, got
That's
to
you
get,
know what? That's who I'm gonna nominate for you to get for your next podcast, or at least on the podcast. You know, last time I lobbied for NDA Yak Angler, you
yep,
got him.
yep.
This is your new challenge.
Well,
Get the
that
guy who plays songs on fruit and all sorts of odd items.
that one's going to be tough because I think he actually quit YouTube and I think he was signed with Discovery Plus and I think he's got his own like television show on a subscription base because Discovery Plus isn't free, is it? I'm guessing that's something like a
No, I don't think so.
Netflix or something like that. But yeah, I
Yeah.
think he's got his own show on Discovery Plus. I don't even know if he does YouTube anymore. But yeah, that would be a fun one to have on because that guy is uh, friends with Casey
Impressive.
Neistat. He's got and yeah, very impressive. Just to be able to make a song out of fruit and that kind of thing is one thing, but then to be able to make a really cool video about it, that's a whole nother game as well. And he nailed it twice. So
Hmm.
uh, yeah, I'm trying to think of some other really cool creators to have on the show. Uh, you're not much of a
Well, you get
YouTube
Casey
fan, so
Neistat too.
hey, I've tried. I've reached out. It's not because I haven't reached out, but
Well, keep trying.
that would be that would be amazing. And if Casey Neistat or anyone who knows him listens to this show, because I have had a few people on here who have, I think they'd at least have some contact with him. I do have something that Casey Neistat might want, and I've been messaging him about it because I'm willing to give it to him for free, but he'd just have to contact me. So I'll leave that out there. So if anyone listening has any contact with him, I do have something he may want.
Hmm.
Interesting.
Is it the 2007 Subaru?
If I had a 2007 Subaru, that'd be awesome. No, that's not it. And my Subaru is 2004.
Oh, sorry. I,
Yeah, so that's a little bit too new for me. But
yeah, true.
and I can't give that up either because I need some way to get to work. So
And that heater is just so hot. It's
I
just hot
wish.
enough.
I wish. James always gives me grief because when I give him a ride, he thinks my car is too warm. But I think that's the one thing I would improve on my car is the heating system. It seems like it's just not kicking out enough heat. But
It is
to each their
scalding.
own.
My face was melting today. Like it literally, my eyeballs were dried out and my skin was starting to fall off my jaw bone.
That's the next thing I'm excited about. Tomorrow is supposed to be the day that I'm getting a sauna in the mail. For those of you who have ever looked into buying a sauna, they're very expensive. I think last time I checked to get an actual sauna installed into your yard, boy, the minimum would be $10,000, and I think they're probably a lot more than that when you factor in the electrical that needs to be done and insulation, all that stuff. But I got a sauna coming that was $150 on Amazon. So maybe I'll make a review on that on my YouTube channel. Uh,
You should do
I'm
your
interested.
review from inside of it.
Yeah, it would be really steamy. I don't know if the camera could. I don't know if my camera is weather sealed enough to take it in a hot
Can't you
sauna
use
like
your
that.
new Go? You got
I
that
could
new
probably use
GoPro,
my
don't you?
GoPro. Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess I probably could do
You
that.
should put
But
that up on the screen for people watching at home.
what's that?
That sauna.
Yeah.
That's quite the rig.
Yeah,
I almost wonder. I was thinking about it with my insulated ice house. If you
yeah.
could just put it out in the backyard with some sort of heating device.
Well, essentially, I wonder if you could use the heating device that comes with this sauna because
Yeah,
to me, it looks like it's just like a little uh, stainless steel pot that sits outside that you can plug in. And it looks like you just plug it in, it boils the water, and the steam filters in through a tube into the little tent. So I wonder if you could just take that little heating system, bring it out into your insulated ice house. You could probably have a homemade sauna
it's
just
probably
like
the
that.
same thing.
It's probably the same thing. And from the looks of the sauna that I'm getting, it looks like a cheaper version of your insulated fish house. So
You
it
know
would
what we
probably
could
work
do is just
perfectly.
get rather than having one little buddy heater, we could get four of those sunflower heaters
Oh man, that'd be
on
brutal.
the outer edges. That would do it.
But see, a lot of these are infrared heaters. This one is actually a steam one. So I'm interested to see how it'll work because I've sat in an infrared sauna and that's more of a dry heat. But I kind of like the fact that it's a steam sauna.
Hmm.
But we'll see how it works. Like I said, I haven't got it yet, but for the price of $150, I'm going to take the risk because I've been wanting a sauna for a long time now, and hopefully it works. We'll see.
I want
But
to see what this thing's all
it's
about.
funny because it looks like it's kind of small. It looks like you'll kind of have to crouch down to get into it. And then it also comes with a little stool or a little chair that you sit in there. And I don't know what's underneath, if you'll just be dripping wet onto the floor or what's underneath. What kind of material is it? Hopefully it's not, hopefully you're not just dripping all over the floor wherever you set
It's
this thing
probably
up.
just a wool mat.
Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, I'm very interested to check it out, and maybe you'll have to keep an eye out on my YouTube channel if you're listening. Maybe I'll create a review on it because maybe it is worthwhile. I've got my fingers crossed. I've got high hopes for this thing. So I saw a few of them at the winter show, except those ones were the infrared ones. So I don't know how they heat those. If it's just like coils that heat, or what if it's like a giant heated blanket, or how those work. But the steam one seemed a little bit more appealing to me. That's another thing you
Speaking of
could.
winter show,
Yeah,
that was a busy event this week.
it was awesome, and
Mhm.
it's an event that Valley City is held for. I don't know if it's 85 years in a row, but I
84,
saw
84 years. I think it
84
was the
years, and this was
84th
the
year.
85th
Yep,
one.
I think so.
But
I'd have to look at that brochure. It was either the 84th or the 85th.
okay, and it's just like basically a big farm trade show in Valley City, and
And
it's a
they've
lot of fun.
loosened it up the vendors the last couple years. So now there's a little more selection for it used to be strictly egg. Well, now there are like little clothing booths and stuff like that, but you still have the tractors and uh, tools and cool farm equipment,
Oh yeah, there's a huge variety of stuff.
rodeos. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
I
The
mean, they've
food
got
court was
vehicles.
phenomenal.
Yes.
That your favorite food stand?
Cornfield
What was it?
Cafe barbecue.
Yes, that was
Uh,
something.
what was it
I had
called
the
now?
brisket sandwich there, and it
It
was
was I had
phenomenal.
I had the Brismac, and it was brisket over homemade mac and cheese, and it was unbelievable. It was I've been thinking about it ever since I ate it, and I can't wait until next year just to get it again because I think that's the only place you can get it. Because I talked with the owner, that is actually not on their menu at the Cornfield Cafe. That's something they have on their catering side, and I guess they go and enter competitions, and I'm sure they do quite well in those with
They
that.
gotta be doing well because that
Yeah,
brisket sandwich, I mean, even just the sauce that you put on top of it was just it was so fantastic. It did, the meat just melted,
Yeah,
and
I
it was
feel like
not
I've been
over
going to the winter
gristly. I mean, it
show.
was
I've been going to the winter show my entire life, every year basically, and I think that could be one of the best meals I've ever had. Oh, it was one of the best meals I've ever had. I'm missing the buffalo burgers, to be
because you
honest.
always got to get the corn dog. You
Yep.
got to get a corn dog. The cheese
Lemonade,
curds are superb. A lemonade, right? It's that lemonade with the real lemons in it and stuff.
soft serve ice
Um,
cream, phenomenal.
yep. Go get a cup of ice cream. Um, that one with the steak nachos this year. I heard a lot of good things about it. I didn't get a
Hmm,
chance to try it out, but the steak nachos, I guess they just moved up here from California to Williston,
okay.
and they had some legit tacos too. But yeah, it looked pretty impressive.
Yeah, it looked like there was a lot of new food vendors. Didn't get a chance to try them all. I got to try just a
No,
couple, and they were awesome. But another thing you got to go to if you've got kids is the petting zoo. I mean, that's a lot of work to bring all those animals in there, and it's not too often you get to
but
see all
do
that
not
stuff.
stick your finger in the rooster cage. That's
No. Well,
nope,
did you do that?
nope,
Okay, I was going to say they had big signs in there saying "Do not put your
yep.
hands in there." So
Don't put your hand in the rooster cage.
I
If you
thought
learn
you
one thing from this podcast tonight, just know don't put, if there's a rooster in a cage, don't put your fingers in there.
yeah,
Those things are mean.
sounds like you learned from experience.
No, I
No?
didn't.
Okay.
Nope.
Well, yeah, they also
I
had
can just
some
about imagine though.
they had really cool looking side by sides there. They looked like military style side by sides. I don't even remember the brand of those things, but they looked like they could go through anything.
Massimo.
Okay.
Massimo.
They
Yep.
looked pretty cool. Trying to think of some other things I saw. They had the portable saunas there. They had
They had that big inflated balloon. That was cool.
big inflated
Right next
balloon.
to that Blackstone griddle.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, the Remax stand, of course. Yep.
Yeah, that was quite the booth this year. Flags, banners, balloons. Gave away a Blackstone griddle. We did have the drawing today.
Oh, you did.
Yep.
Did you run
And
across any interesting names?
well, yeah, I always do.
I signed up
None I
several
can none I can repeat on here, but yeah.
I signed up several times without my real name just in case you drew it this year. So I was hoping you'd select one of them and it would have been an awesome live feed of a fake person. But unfortunately, it didn't work out this year. Maybe next year I'll get you. But now you're thinking, oh, some of those were made up.
Yeah, I figured they had to be.
Yep. There was also another cool one. I don't know if they're like wheelchairs, but they were really beefed up. Did you see those
Oh
things?
yeah, they're like off-road scooters, like
Off-road
three-wheel
scooters.
scooters, but
Yeah,
like those rascal ones that like you'd use if you rather than a wheelchair.
right. Yeah, they looked
Yeah.
really sweet, and it looked like they could fold up into a really small area too, which was kind of neat. And I saw a couple people driving them around the winter show, and I don't know if they had purchased them or if they were just
No, I
showing them
think they
off.
were letting people test drive them because I saw people
Okay.
ripping by my booth on them, and I was shocked that no children got smoked by these.
But that's what I was surprised with is they were pretty fast.
Yeah,
Pretty
that's what I
fast.
mean. These older people were really ripping around on them.
But it looked like they're
But
having fun. The ones I saw, it looked like they're having a lot of
mhm.
fun with them, and it looked like those things could get through anything.
Did you see Washboard Willie?
I did see him, and that was another highlight. I know my daughter thought he was awesome. I thought he was awesome.
He is
Uh,
awesome.
uh,
Yeah,
for the
he always
listeners,
stops by. Yeah, go ahead.
it's a guy who walks around the winter show, and he's got like metal tips on his fingers. What are those things called for sewing? Like thimbles? Is that what they call them?
Thimble.
And
Thimble,
then he's
yep.
got a washboard hooked to his chest, and he's playing the washboard, and I think he's got a harmonica.
He's got a harmonica, and then he like kind of drums on his washboard, and yeah, he's kind of a one-man band, and he pulls around this giant speaker so
Yep.
it's loud too.
And then he had on this little trailer hooked to his belt, he had a bunch of instruments. So if any kids were in the crowd, you could go up there and actually play the instruments. I couldn't get
Yep.
my daughter to go out there and do it, but a lot of other kids were having fun with it. And the thing that surprised me is I thought, with all the homemade instruments he had, it was actually extremely good. Like his singing was good, and his drumming was perfectly to the beat. It's like he had to practice that a lot before he, because
Yeah, he's just out there walking around grooving
I don't think
the
there's
whole
any
time.
manuals out there showing you how to play a washboard strapped to your chest while you're pulling a little trailer around your waist. So very cool. I didn't get a chance to go to the rodeo, and that was packed. I think they had 3 rodeos, and I was up there during all 3 of them, and there was hardly any room to walk around. It was so packed. Did you go to the rodeo at all?
No,
Uh,
I was
and I,
working.
yeah, the whole time, right? You missed out on all of it.
Yeah.
And they also have a concert every year, and they've got a lot of fun stuff. I know when my daughter left, she said, "Goodbye, winter show. I'm gonna miss you. See you next year." So I know that'll be top of the things on our list to do for next year. But it seemed like
it's kind of the starting point of spring.
it
Winter
is.
show
That's
every year.
although at the start of this year's
We're in
winter
the
show it
home
was
stretch now.
freezing. Yeah, I hope we are. I see it's supposed to be in the 40s the next couple days, but yeah, for some reason this winter has seemed like it's just drug on and drug on and drug on. I'm ready for summer now.
It started early and it hit hard.
Yeah, it did. It's been
And it didn't
cold.
quit snowing like
Nope.
every day.
Yep. Well, yeah, we've got a lot to look forward to. Anything else you want to talk about before we wrap this podcast up?
Aren't we going for 3.5 hours tonight?
3.5 hours? We're not even to 1 hour yet. I suppose we
I
could
know.
go 3.5 hours, though. We could talk about the
there's all
Twins
sorts of fun
trades,
things we could talk about, but
Minnesota
that was
Twins, Minnesota
oh,
Vikings.
yeah.
They're making moves tonight, too. I don't know if
Who
you
did they
saw
do
that,
today?
but they just
I know they extended
signed.
Kirk Cousins.
They extended Kirk Cousins, and they signed, let's see, Harrison Phillips, defensive tackle for the Buffalo Bills.
Ooh.
So I don't know much about him, to be honest, but let's see. I know his nickname is Horrible Harry, so that's pretty cool.
Okay. And you mix him with Harry the Hitman, and it's going to be great.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know what that means for Hicks, though, because I was hoping we'd get Hicks from the Bears. And I don't know if this signing means we're not going to go after him or not. But, yeah, and the Twins traded away my favorite player for the Twins, or one of my favorite players, Josh Donaldson.
It pains me.
I know everything I've been reading. Everything I'm reading is saying that they must have something else up their sleeve if they're willing to trade these guys away.
They might be going after pitching. Like they had to maybe open up some funds for pitching. They picked up Sonny Gray,
and
he was
that's
good
what it's
like
all
5
about.
years ago.
Although they had to give up their first round pitcher or the first round pick from last year. I think his name was Chase Petty, who's a pitcher, supposed to be a stud pitcher coming up, and they had to trade him to get Sonny Gray. So I don't know. We'll see how that all pans out. But yeah, this Donaldson trade was interesting to me because to me the only thing I can think of is they wanted to save some money. But
had to. I mean, that one even that shortstop that they gave away,
he seemed good.
That guy, I think, is going to be a stud too.
Yep. But hopefully these guys from the Yankees will step it up and they
got rid of Mitch Garver.
And they got rid of Mitch Garver.
They got rid of Mitch Garver to get that shortstop.
And then they traded him right away.
The Yankees. I love Mitch Garver.
Yeah, I do too. I like Mitch Garver. I love Josh Donaldson. So it's
but you know what? Now we just got some new friends.
That's right.
One of them named Gary Sanchez.
Now we'll get new favorite players, and exactly. Yep. And another one that I've been seeing a lot about. I don't know if it's even going to be possible, but I know you'd be excited about this. Trevor Story is they're one of the
He's
finalists.
rumored to be.
Yep, they're
He's
in
rumored
the.
to be coming to the Twins.
Yep, there's four teams that are in on them, and Twins are one of them. So
Oh my!
from what I've been hearing, and they said that possibly. I saw one tweet that said last night after the Josh Donaldson trade that this insider was getting a lot of texts from owners saying that they're willing to bet now that the Twins will be the landing spot for Trevor Story. So we'll see
Oh
if that
my!
happened. That would be
That would be huge.
kind of nice. Yep.
Trevor's story is good, really
So
good,
and Twins also have a
and I
lot
think he's
of
got a lot of years.
good young guys coming up. I know that Jose Miranda dominated the minor leagues last year, and they're excited about
Is
him.
he is he related to Lin Manuel?
I have no idea who that is, so I don't know.
Probably. We'll just say he probably is.
But also that Royce Lewis is a stud, supposedly. Had some injuries last year. They're hoping he can come up in the next couple of years, and we still have Luis Rise. So I don't know. It's I still think we need pitching though. So if they went out and got some top tier pitchers,
Yes. Yeah. Go Yankees on people. Like get a Garrett Cole or somebody like that.
yeah,
Who
I
would
just
even
don't.
be out there
I
to
don't know if
get?
there's anybody out there like that other
Yeah.
than you'd have to trade for somebody. A couple rumblings of possibly Zach Greinke. I doubt it. Doesn't seem like someone the Twins would get. It just seems like he'd be too much
Because
money.
Greinke's still kind of in his prime right now, I think.
He's still
Isn't
good.
he?
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
but it just seems like the Twins never want to spend the big money on good pitching. I don't know, but
No.
also Johnny Cueto is another guy that they've brought up. Possibly, I
He
would
gets
be.
he gets a lot of blisters on his hands,
That's true. He is hurt a lot, isn't he?
but for finger
But he's good.
blisters.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
that's what he kept going. Like I had him on my fantasy team, and he went out a couple times with blisters.
that's a terrible
So,
injury for a pitcher because you just never have time to heal your finger, and that takes so long to heal properly. And then the next time you go out and pitch, it just tears open again. So that's
yeah,
a tough one for pitchers. Uh,
but it should be
so
an easy way to, you can't really spit on the ball anymore. So just put a
anymore,
little
you can't
blister
just
on
spit
it.
on the ball. uh, yeah. So I don't know what they use to heal blisters. I don't know if they're probably not able to use a lot of things just because it'll be considered a foreign substance. But yeah,
Right.
I hope the Twins can.
So blisters on the fingers could be a good thing to cheat.
No, I don't think so. That's seems like pitchers are always out with that, and they never heal right. So I don't. But other than that, I really don't know of any big names that are out there anymore. It seems like all
No.
the huge names have been signed. So I'd like to see a list of all the big impact players that are still available. But unfortunately, as a Twins fan, we've been around this too much where it seems like they'll tell us, "Oh no, we've made we've made enough big moves this year, and
Hmm.
we're just trying to save on payroll." And then next year, when it comes around, like, "Hey, your payroll is so much lower than everyone else's," uh, they'll say something like, "Oh, that's because we've got this farm system that's just about ready to come play and
Yeah.
dominate." So I don't know. I'm hoping at some point they can put it all together and win another
Did we
World
get Bu-
Series.
did we get Buxton back?
Yes, that was huge. They re-signed
Okay.
Buxton, so that's big
Because
time.
that was
But
one I thought we were going to be losing, but
yeah, I was
glad
a
we
little
didn't.
afraid of that too. Now, if we can keep him healthy, he's
Hmm.
definitely could be an MVP. So yeah,
Hmm.
so there. I mean, we still have some really good players. We still have Kirilloff and um, Buxton and well now Gary Sanchez. There's a lot of good players, but then
Arise.
Arise, yep.
Gio Ursula now.
Yeah, I don't know much about him. I never really
I
followed the
had him on my
Yankees.
fantasy team for a little while, and he was doing really good, and then he was not doing good, so I had to cut him. But
Oh, really?
I so he's still near and dear to my heart because he was a part of my team. So
Okay. Well, since you cut him, that doesn't mean too much to me. If I would cut him, that would mean he was really doing bad because I know you have a short fuse with your fantasy players. So
yeah,
it's
I
like
don't put up with any lip.
they don't produce for 1 week and they're gone. See, for me, my
Yep.
problem with fantasy baseball is I get my favorite players and I hang on to them through the thick and the thin. I just can't get rid of them.
No.
And it shows at the end of the year because I'm always usually about middle of the pack. But, you know, anything else you want to add?
Nope, that about wraps it up. We
I don't
talked
know.
about Gary Sanchez and Gio Urshela, Winter Show, kayaking, Indy Yak Angler, Casey Neistat, the R4 convention,
Bowling
Jared James, Brian Buffini. I think we about covered it.
and can't forget that
And we
second
also
place
showed
finish.
off my dart medal, which was what was that?
I say we can't. We have to wrap it up with bringing up that second place finish again.
In level 7,
Level
doubles.
7, second place. Yep.
2022 doubles, second place, level 7.
Is that state of North Dakota or what is that?
That was a state tournament.
State tournament. There you
So
go.
it was a state tournament, and that was the main thing I wanted to highlight tonight was that
Well, you've
medal.
done it.
Yep, we did it.
In a very good, humble fashion.
Right.
Well, thanks again for being on the show.
Hey,
56
thanks for
minutes
having me.
long. We'll definitely have you on again in the future.
Booyah.
I want to thank everyone for listening again tonight. Next week, we'll have another fun show planned. You never know what's going to be on this show, a little bit of everything. So thanks again, and we'll talk to you next week.